May 25th, Yosadandan's diary entry and remembrances of this day. After directly hearing Srila Prabhupada say that he would soon appoint Ritvik Acharyas who would initiate on his behalf after he departs, Gauridas Pandit, after leaving Prabhupada's room, he repeated what he heard to Smara Haridas. Smara Haridas at the time was the brahmacharya assistant of Yosadandan Swami. Smara Hari relayed what Gauridas told him, and he told Yosadandan Swami, who then spoke with Bhavananda Swami about this, and Bhavananda confirmed to Yosadanandan that his understanding was that Srila Prabhupada wanted Ritvik Acharyas to initiate on his behalf after he departs. Yosadanandan also discussed this with Tamal Krishna, and Tamal became angry that Gauridas Pandit had told others about this. Tamal Krishna then chastised Gauridas, telling him he would no longer serve as Srila Prabhupada's personal servant. Tamal told Gauridas that on sensitive issues like this, the servants cannot run out and just tell everyone what Srila Prabhupada had said, but sensitive issues like this need to be presented to the GBC, and they will decide how and what should be shared with the other devotees. Actually, that process was simply one that Tamal insisted on being implemented. It was not a process that Srila Prabhupada had requested or wanted. The following video is also from the same North American GBC meetings held in 1990 in San Diego. This is now Yosadanandan Prabhu speaking.
Okay, on the 25th of May at 1 p.m., I'd like to point out that this is definitely not a recreation or a re-remembrance. These are factual notes that were taken while I was engaged in the Gurukul in Vrindavan. These notes were made in pencil, Indian-style pencil, on Indian paper. It is not a re-remembrance. These were factual incidents to the best of my knowledge and belief, and these incidents were not written this year. They were written at that time. On the 25th of May 1977 at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, on or about 1 o'clock, Bhavananda Das, at that time Goswami, comes in the restaurant and greets all the devotees with a brief expose of the situation. Quote, Prabhupada said that now there is no more hope to live. I'm preparing to leave. So I have called all of you and I've written a will. Actually, what was given is that a will was being discussed, which I've given to Tamal. I will choose a few of you to take care of the affairs of the society. Keep the work going on. This movement has attained unprecedented glamour. Now keep up this reputation. Do not turn this institution like the Gaudiya Math. After this conversation, I went and saw Bhavananda Maharaj and told him that I had heard from Smara Haridas at that time, who was my brahmachari assistant, that Smara Hari had heard from Gauridas Pandit that Prabhupada was discussing the nomination of Ritvik Acharyas, and that these discussions took place in the garden. I asked Smara Hari, how did he know of it? He says, well, I've just spoken to Gauridas Pandit, who was recording the conversation. I also approached Tamal Krishna Maharaj about this, and he told me, who told you this? Tamal Krishna Maharaj told me that if Gauridas Pandit has said this, and Smara Hari said, who else knows about this? At that point, I indicated, well, there's only 3 people, and the conversation has been recorded, so what did Prabhupada say? And Tamal Krishna Maharaj says, we're just discussing at that time. Now, Bhavananda Das, I approached him and asked him about it. His understanding of the situation is that this was only a nomination of Ritvik Acharyas at the time. And this is also confirmed by another conversation that took place with the said Bhavananda Das on the 31st of May. Now, these taped conversations...
Aside from these references, evidencing that Srila Prabhupada had in fact discussed the idea of appointing Ritvik representatives who would initiate on his behalf prior to the May 28th meeting, another extremely important evidence of this is found in the most peculiar nature of the questions that the GBC had prepared to ask Srila Prabhupada during that May 28th meeting. The odd nature of those questions only make any real sense at all when we understand that Tamal and Satsvarup and other GBC members were fully aware that His Divine Grace had been discussing this Ritvik representative idea before that meeting. This will be revealed and discussed shortly in our chronological timeline. There are 3 devotees, One, a leading sannyasi at the time, Yosadandan Swami. Another was Gauridas Pandit Prabhu, who at the time was both in training and acting as Srila Prabhupada's personal servant, and was assisting and accompanying Tamal Krishna in his duties as Srila Prabhupada's personal secretary at the time. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj, who was a leading disciple, a senior sannyasi, an original member of the GBC, and as we just noted, he was also serving as Srila Prabhupada's personal secretary. All three of these devotees have indicated that just prior to the May 28th meeting, that Srila Prabhupada had in fact spoke of selecting some men to act as Ritvik representatives or Ritvik acharyas who would conduct initiations on Srila Prabhupada's behalf after he departs, where the disciples will be Srila Prabhupada's. And according to Gauridas Pandit and Yosadandan Swami, they claim that they both spoke with Smarahari about this, and that Bhavananda, another senior sannyasi at the time, also knew about this.